Hey, I'm Dr. Brady Wyrick, and the topic that I'd like to discuss today is actually I want to go back and revisit the topic of autologous stem cell therapy versus allogenic stem cell therapy. Now, autologous stem cell therapy means that you're using your own stem cells. Allogenic means that you're going to be using them from a donor. Now, I'm not saying anything bad here about autologous stem cells. Yes, it's been around the longest. Yes, it's the most readily available or the most readily accepted version of stem cell therapy. It's been around. There are more practitioners that doing autologous stem cell therapy than there are that are doing allogenic stem cell therapy. But I just want you to do your homework. I want you to do your research and choose which one of these are best suited for you and your family. So I had someone get on one of my Facebook ads and mention another practitioner that did autologous stem cell therapy and basically said that these cells were live cells and therefore they were better. So basically what I want to do is I want to talk about that particular topic. So when people do autologous stem cell therapy, again, that's coming from yourself. Those stem cells are harvested from either your bone marrow or from your fat tissue. Those cells are cultivated and then re-injected back into you. So her argument about live cells was absolutely 100% true. Those cells that they're using, they are live cells. However, those cells, even though they're alive, they are coming from your own tissue. That means that they're coming from an individual who is whatever age you are and whatever your health status is. So if you're old and tired, guess what? Those stem cells are old and tired, versus using stem cells that come from a donor, that are coming from a donated human umbilical cord from a healthy mom and a healthy baby. These are the newest, most vibrant cells that you can use. So the argument that they're frozen cells and they don't survive the freezing process is not true. And yes, we could sit here and talk about third parties going in to our lab and testing each one of the batches to make sure they're live cells, which that does happen, but I'd rather get a little bit personal with you. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just share a story with you. If you've known me long enough, you know that back in 2009 I went through testicular cancer. And when I was diagnosed, I was told that we may not be able to have kids again. I had 2 kids at the time. And therefore, what we did is we actually donated some of my, or not donated, excuse me, we stored some of my sperm so that we could have the possibility of having kids later. So before I went through chemotherapy, we went down to the University of Utah where we banked some of my sperm. And guess what they did? They froze it. They cryogenically froze my samples so that we could go back and use them later on if we wanted to have children. Now, this has a great ending to this story. I've got 2 kids that happened since then, so everything was fine. Did not have to use those particular samples, but the point here is these types of cells, whether we're talking about stem cells or whether we're talking about sperm cells or whatever we're talking about, they survive the freezing process. So to use the argument that stem cells do not survive freezing is a moot point, because we have the research, we have the personal stories that they do, and that's one of the reasons why we use them. We just got our shipment in for today. Our cryo tank is full of liquid nitrogen. Now it's full of stem cells that are cryogenically frozen. They're ready to be injected where they are the most vibrant cells that you can use to help you regenerate, regrow your new tissue. Thank you. We'll see you soon.